So today I'll be talking about supply chain management. For an overview of what we're going to go over, I'm going to talk about what supply chain management is, how it's relevant, how they use it, what was it in the past, and what is it now. I'll walk through a couple examples, and I'll compare and contrast logistics. So what exactly is supply chain management? Supply chain management is just the flow of goods and services. So where the object starts and where it ends up, usually in a warehouse or raw materials, and then ends up in a customer's home. So this is normally documented in a web or a chain. And I have a graphic on the right side of this that shows like empty slots of where things would be if this was an actual good. So then versus now. This is a little goofy cartoon up top, but it shows that less people used to have to touch and kind of go through and modify the object years ago, but now there's different manufacturers and companies and corporations that all have their hands in the same object. But generally, the supply chain management shows the distribution of the product. So where it starts out, where it goes from there, who modifies it, and where it's going to end up. And this includes all of the logistics department. SCM, which is also supply chain management, is used for customer knowledge. This is anytime you order something online and you want to track your package and it tells you it's at this warehouse or this place, that's kind of showing you a little bit of where it's going, but SCM is going more in depth. It's saying that you ordered this product and initially the first day it came from this place A. After that, place B modified it, place C modified it, place D is where you bought it from, and place E would be your home. So this offers full disclosure of the whereabouts of the package that you're ordering, and it shows the distribution of labor. So not just one management team is going to operate and handle this package. So this allows multiple businesses to succeed. So where one monopoly could make this and distribute it and modify it and everything would happen in their business, that wouldn't allow people to work together and there would be no camaraderie among the corporate level business. And supply chain management kind of documents how different businesses work together to distribute the same good that you're ordering. So again, this is a graphs type graphic that shows in 1980s, there was kind of more of an even distribution of like who handled your package. And nowadays, it seems that the supplier has more of the power than the retailer or the distributor. And that just kind of means that more of the responsibility is on the supplier to distribute the good rather than the retailer or the buyer or the website you're buying from. So back in the 1980s or years ago, logistics used to kind of encapture supply chain management, and they kind of just would be the same thing. But now supply chain management has its own dedicated position, which means that there's someone assigned to this task to know exactly where products are going, who's touching them, where they're going, and where they're ending up. So a real life example is actually Toys R Us. And in 1999, so many people did online orders for Toys R Us toys that they couldn't deliver them in time. They promised to have them delivered by December 10th and failed. So they had to turn to another distributor at that time, Amazon, and it was in Amazon's hands that they had to deliver all of the products that Toys R Us could not succeed in. This caused for thousands and thousands of unhappy customers, but Amazon swooped in and saved the day. So that shows that Toys R Us probably didn't have a successful supply chain management because they didn't know where their packages were and gave a false delivery date, whereas Amazon is realistic and is able to complete the job. UPS and FedEx are kind of like a generic version of supply chain management, where they tell you where your package is, what carrier has it, and where it's going. This doesn't tell you your actual product information, but more so what's happening with your package. So I found this interesting. This is talking about where iPhones come from. So as you can see, it starts out in California, and obviously Apple Corporation designs a phone and what they want it to do and what they want it to look out, and they ship it out to a whole bunch of different countries for different jobs. So the actual metal phone, the data that goes in it, the SIM card, all of these things are in different countries, and they mold together to create one product. This is Coca-Cola. And where it doesn't say exactly where things happen, it kind of shows you a generic overview where they have their ingredients and then they package it, they manufacture it, they ship it out, people drink it, people recycle, and the whole thing kind of goes around in circles. And this is kind of just the generic reasoning behind every supply chain management web. You start out with your raw materials, and then you build up to components of the product, and it ships out to a manufacturer that goes to a retailer and eventually you. So supply chain management is large. It is a very, very large job, task, corporation, you name it, it's large. And if you were to kind of compare just a little bit of the responsibility of a supply chain management task, you could say that if Walmart were its own country, it would have its 26th best economy in the world, which means Walmart's dealing with a lot of money and a lot of product. And to know where every product is and where every product is going is a lot of responsibility. So Amazon's warehouses are as big as 10,000 Olympic pools and 700 Madison Square Gardens. So much like Walmart, it's got tons and tons of responsibility to know what's being shipped where, who's ordering what, when it's going to be there, and this is all dealt with supply chain management. So in conclusion, a generic overview, as I said before, you start with your raw materials and you build up from there. As you build your product, then it starts to get distributed to different retailers, and once it reaches the retailer, it reaches you. Supply chain management you could think of as a map, where the starting is where the materials come from and the end point is when it gets to you. So to recap then versus now, then it used to be part of a job, and now it's a whole job, because people are dedicated to letting customers know where their information and where their packaging and where their product is coming from and where it's going to. So you always want to know what your product was made, where your product was made, what it's made with, and this is all dealing with supply chain management. So it's very beneficial to not only the customer but the company. It doesn't allow monopoly of management. There's very few companies that make, sell, distribute, and handle their very own product. There's usually maybe tens to hundreds of companies that touch the same product that eventually goes to you, which means it's inclusive and supports camaraderie between large corporate level businesses. And it also allows customers to know what's happening with their individual package. And this is kind of just a graphic that sums up the whole thing. As you see the arrows wrapping around the world, like everyone has a responsibility in the supply chain management, and your package almost goes globally before it comes to you.